we want to keep data like a matrix format. So we have rows and the columns, for instance. We want to keep this kind of a data. Is it a very common data format? Like, why don't we just use normal 1D list? Well, actually, it is pretty common. Like, if you are in AI business, then you actually always deal with these multidimensional data. Or if you want to process image, what is an image? Technically, a JPEG file. Do you know it?
Pixels.
Pixels. And what is a pixel?
One square, one square, square, square.
Yes, and those squares are?
Rows and columns.
Rows and the columns. Actually, each image file, you might think in this way. It's a matrix, but 3 matrices. R, G, B values, red, green, blue values. So it's actually like a 3D value, but one part is actually, it's an image file. You might think it as also as an image file. So actually we use it in many cases. And how do we define when we are talking about 2-dimensional spaces? So we will talk about the rows and the columns, but of course, as I said again, you might have 3D arrays also, or you can just increase those dimensions. It's possible, but let's first focus on only this 2-dimensional arrays. And that one, well, how do we define it? We say int square bracket 1-dimensional. If you put one more of them, then you just add one more dimension to your data. I think you got the point. If I had put one more, then it will be 3-dimensional ones. And then again, but I need to define the size of it. So what it means is I will have 3 arrays and integer arrays, and each of them will have 4 sizes. So this means I will have 3 arrays that has 4 items in each. And this is one way. When we do it, it will be an empty array. I can also do it with an initializing part. So I say that this is 2D array, and then one of the arrays will be, so 1 to 9, other one is this 3, 4, 8. So it is basically, I have 2 arrays, each of them has 3 items in that. And we see if I miss anything. Okay. So this is, of course, when we are dealing with raw data, this is easier. But when you are dealing with objects, like I can also put 2-dimensional arrays of, I don't know, product objects or something, then you will need to be more careful about the data initialization. But I'll just leave it as a practice for you to study. Then I think, yeah, this is the main topic that we have to talk about, which is array list. So what is an array list? Well, it is maybe an easier way of using arrays, but with some disadvantages that I will talk about. But it also has, from a usage perspective, has many advantages. What is that? In arrays, first I need to say, okay, its size is this. I will just put 10 items in that, not 11, not 12. It will be 10. If I would like to change it, like if I say that, okay, I need 10 an array of 10 items, but then if I need 11, that's a big problem, because then I need to create another array of size 11. And I need to copy that, all 10 items into that, and then I can put that one, and then I should remove that, my old array. So it's a very, actually, like a data migration. You take one array, and then you move them to another array. So this is a big problem. Therefore, what we have is this array list. What is an array list? It's like a list of items that we can keep, but we don't worry about its size. Like, is it 3? Is it 5? Is it 10? I don't know. I'll just put it there. It will automatically resize itself, so that I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to calculate that, okay, it is, will it be 10 or will it be 20? And how do we write it? Well, we say array list, and then this T. What is this T? Well, this is not covered in this course, but this is called generic data type, and I will not go very in detail, but you might think it that it is like a placeholder to represent a data type. And in an array list, again, we can always keep the same data object type, like always string, always integers, always, I don't know. And I mean, we should first define the data type that we would like to put, and then we cannot change it later on. And this T represents that data. And it should be an object, so I cannot put it as an int or as a Boolean float, as a raw data type. I need always to put an object in that. And this is, again, we need to import Java util package Arraylist for that. And let me see. Fine. It also comes with a long list of functions that we can use just to ease our process. First, if I say new array list, these greater than signs or smaller than signs, again, if you look at this, we also use that part. Again, this topic is not covered, but this is for generic data type definition. For now, just memorize it as it is, okay? So whenever you are creating a new array list, yeah, but we have to put it this way. So this will create a new empty list. Or we want to add a new item to the end of the list. We need to use this add function. If you want to get an item, like I want to get the 5th item, 6th item, then I cannot use this square brackets as an array. I have to use this get function. And then this contains function basically checks, is that function in the list or not? It will return true or false. Or remove item, this is remove the item that has this index. So remove the 5th item, remove the 6th item, you need to use this. Or you can directly put the element. Remove this if this is a list of, I don't know, like desks. Okay, remove this desk from the list. So you can put that object and then it will be removed. Size will be, again, now the students who are working both now arrays and array lists, sometimes you might confuse it. Like it's not length. Length is in arrays. Size is for the array list to get the number of items. And for the remove all elements. So if you run this clear function, it will remove all the elements in our array list. Here is one example. So we first import this array list library. And now within that, now I'm creating it. Array list, between these signs I say string. So this means that, okay, this will be, in this list I will keep strings. I mean, I will, in another list, if I want to keep integer, now I should declare it here. Like it should be integer, it will be the integer, it will be a product list, it will be whatever it is. But we should define it here. Then our variable list name. And then new array list, and then we put again the string part, but this is not mandatory. Like you can either put the string or not. I would like to say show it on, I'd like to show it here actually. So basically, if I would say array list, I need to definitely say that, okay, is it string, is it what? I need to say it here. Then, let me zoom out a little bit. Again, in my array list part, oops, no, not this one. I need to import it. This is why I'm getting this error. So I need to import that. All right. So this will be fine. This part is optional. You can either leave this empty or you can put it as string, but that would be fine with that. So it will not change the meaning at all. Let me zoom out a little bit. All right. I'm going back to part. Now what are we doing here is, okay, can I ask you to read this code? I would like to make, I know that there's something that we didn't see, but I would like you to make some educated guesses. What is this code is doing?
It's adding to the array.
Adding to the array, okay, for what? Okay, yes.
Adding a normal number between 0 and 1 to the array.
Yes, but there's also one more condition.
If the random number is generated is greater than
Yes. So this, yeah. So even though now, yeah, this ability is important. Even though you don't know what math random is, you're able to at least trying to go make some guesses. And it is most, I mean, yeah, it is. Your guesses was correct. So math random, yeah, it generates numbers. I think it was from between 0 and 1. Randomly. So at each iteration, it generates one number. Then we put it in this d variable, and then we check whether it is greater than 0.1. If it is, now we add that value. But here you notice that this d is double, but we keep string. But that's why we are actually putting this string as a value, like value, double column, space, and then the double value. So we are not putting double, we are actually putting string because our list contains string objects.
Are we adding 2 elements or 1?
One.
Okay.
So yeah, this one is concatenation.
Yeah.
So I have to convert this. I cannot put this d as it is because it's a double, but I need to put string. That's why actually I'm now converting it to double. Actually, this becomes a double. It's like string plus double will give me a string. That's why I'm adding a string. And then here we have a for each loop. So basically, I can go over this my list as in arrays. I can also do it in the array list. For each string entry in entries list, I will basically print the entry. Here, as you can notice that I didn't say that, okay, it will be 5 items, 10 items, because I just don't know it. Like, I don't know when the math random will generate, how many numbers generate will be higher than 0.1. I don't know when it will happen. It might be very in the beginning. Maybe it will generate a small value after 1,000 try. I don't know it. So if I had tried to use array, that would be pretty problem because I just literally don't know how many, in which trial I will get some small value that is less than 0.1. So, but for the array list, the good thing is that I'm not worried about at all with the size. Whenever I said add, if some more space is needed, it will do it automatically, so I don't need to worry about it. Here's also one more example. Again, we are creating a cars list, cars array list, and then we are adding all these items, Volvo, BMW, Ford, Mazda, and so on. And then if I say get to, it will give me the item with the index 2. Again, index starts from 0, so Volvo is 0, BMW is 1, Ford is 2. So it should return me Ford. Then if I say set to Toyota, what does it mean? Well, basically it will replace the Ford, the item with the index 2, which is, again now this is Ford, with Toyota. So I can immediately change it to that item. And then this remove one will remove the index 0, which means that the first one will be removed. So this part sometimes tricky. Why is that? When I remove 0, now what happened to the first item then? It all shifted. So I would like to actually show this again here. Let's say that in our list, let's add these. What was it? It was Volvo. And what was it? The other one, Mazda. Like to have this. All right. So we have Mazda. I just would like to first show this. So in an array list, the good thing is that also if you just print list, it will automatically show all the items with a square bracket, Volvo, BMW, Ford, Mazda. So I don't need to write a for loop. It's much easier to print an array list. So when I use this set function, set the item 2 with Toyota, and then if I print it again, so let's print again, and I'm not sure if this is readable, but basically it printed this. Let me put it as a comment here. So it puts Toyota there. So it basically replaces that. I would like to say one thing. What is a common mistake for the students who just see the arrays and then moving to the array list? Some students do it in this way. List 2 is equal to Toyota. No, this doesn't work. Okay, this is an array syntax. If it was an array, it would work. Or some students does this. Okay, they said that because this doesn't give me the second item. This is completely wrong. Then what they do is they do this. Like, I got the second item. Okay, and then I just put Toyota in that. And no, this is also not how it works. Because if it was an array, yes, we could do it. Like, if it was an array like this, I would do this replacement with the square bracket and so. But in array list, like in an array, how would you change the item in the second list? Yeah, you would do something like this. But in an array list, this also doesn't work because it returns the item, but it doesn't change. If you would like to change it, yeah, you have to do it in this way. Okay? So yes, please.
What if I wanted to add Toyota, but not to remove I want to add Toyota in the second index, but I don't want to remove the character that's already there?
That's a very good question. So there's also another function, which is list.add, and then I first define the index. Let's say that the 2, I want the second index to be, I don't know, another car. Turkish car brand, so I just put it. Anyway, so what it does is basically put this tog in the second index, okay? Not at the very end, just in the end. So let's print it again then. What will happen now? Oops, sorry. So now I'll just copy paste this, so maybe this will be more readable for you also. It prints this. So what happened is, yeah, we have Volvo, the first one, BMW, second one. Tog is now has the index 2. Then Toyota is here because we replaced Ford with Toyota here. Normally Toyota was the second one here, as you see. But when I inserted this tog, it's inserted in the middle and it shifted all the others, all the following ones. So this is the case. And also, if you would like to remove an item, so I would like to remove the first one, then I will put 0. Then what will happen is basically when I print this again, I'll just run it. Now this is the new list. I'll also put it here. So basically, the Volvo, as the first one, is removed. Now all the others have been shifted to the left. So their index have changed. So this part is important. Why is that important? Like, what I would like to do is, for instance, if I say list.get1, okay, and I also would like to do it here, list.get1, okay. So we will have these two objects, and then the result is, in one of them is BMW, so this gives me BMW, and this gives me this tog. So what happened here is, again, when I removed it, the index shifted. So previously it was this. Then when I say print 1, so 0 and 1, so it should print BMW. But then I removed 0, which means Volvo is removed. So now I have only this, and now the same code, get1, is not returning me BMW anymore. It returns me tog. So the indexes changes when we do this removing operation. Why is that important?
Because the index of all the other items will shift.
Yeah, for instance,
Remove one or add one.
let me,
Everything else will change.
yeah, and it actually might cause some problems for some questions. Let's say for some tasks. I have this item. let me also add these two more Mazdas. And then I would like to remove all the Mazdas in it. Okay? How can I do that? So I have a list of these cars, and then I want to remove all the Mazdas in it. Okay? This is what I would like to do.
Get the index of Mazda.
So there are multiple ways to do it. I will write one option which seems correct, but actually it is not. Okay? So here is that part. This is one way to do it. If list dot get I that equals Mazda, then list dot remove I, and that should do the trick for that. But let's see if it is really doing that. I would like to put the curly brackets, and then at the end of the day I will just print it all the lists again. Yeah. So now let's still there, but let's first go over the code. So what I'm doing is starting from 0, going to the end of the list. At each iteration, I will increment it by 1. I'm just checking. Okay, I'm just getting items one by one. This I, is it equal to Mazda? Okay, then just remove it. Remove the id one. So that seems working. Like that sounds reasonable. Like I'll go over all the items, and then if there's any Mazda, I'll just remove it. But when I run the code, okay, I still see some Mazda here. Not all of them is removed. So when I print that, here is my output. I still Mazda in there. I couldn't do it. I removed one of it, but not the second. Why it might be the case?
Because the loop took list size first and didn't get updated. The list size isn't updated. If you remove the Mazda, the list size will change.
Okay. What else?
This will just delete the first appearance of Mazda.
But why not second? Because I didn't exit from the loop. I didn't say return, but it just didn't. I'm just now I'm trying to debug my code. Okay, it's not working. So I'm trying to understand, okay, what is going on? Because it's so that's why I will put this tracing messages, okay? List dot. So let's see what is the item there. Oops, sorry, what is happening? Yeah, good. Let's also print the size, okay? All right, now let's run it again. Okay, here's our code. Not this tog one. Tog is coming from the other code. I'll just again put it here so we can easily read it there. So this is the output of this part. So yeah, we started from BMW and it didn't change. We started from Tog, it didn't change. Toyota, and then Mazda, and then Mazda 5. So what happened? What is happening here?
The list changed the size too.
Oh, I is greater than the index of the list, the element in the list.
Yes. So actually what is happening is, since it is shifted, I just didn't let me say it in this way. Did I print all the mess? Let's also print all the list here again, just to see that. I would like to print again. Print our last version also. Oh, what happened? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, reasonable. All right, I'll copy paste it from here. that would be fine. Yeah. So here is my list. So what is happening is I is 0. I compare with this. I is 1. I compare with this. I is 2. I compare with this. I is 3. I compare it with this. But then I is 4. But when I delete this, what is 4? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I compare it with this one, not that one. I just kept one of them. That's why we have one more Mazda in that. Is that understood? So the question is, okay, then how can I fix it? Now, this is a debugging code. The code has a bug in that.
What if we put an equal sign after the I less than this?
Can you say it again, please?
What if we put an equal sign after the I is less than or equal this size?
Mm. I think the problem is not that. So I'm
What about I minus 1?
where should I put it?
Because when you remove 1, there is an index that's removed as well.
If
Inside the state.
We use while.
Yeah, we can change our whole conception. Like in a while loop, I can keep going on and on. There is a but easier fix for that. That's it. Then it will now do the trick. Why is that? Now, yeah, it now removes all of them.
But it is I plus plus.
Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is I'm not changing my index. Like I removed this. Let me also copy this part. Again. So when I come here, I is 3, okay? So when I delete this, normally I was increasing I to 4, but now if I do it 4, I have to be here. So I shouldn't update my index if I delete. Okay, so that's why I first reduce it by 1 and increase it by 1, so it's not affected. That's one of the ways, but anyway, so this is one solution, but I would like to mention why did I spend so much time on it. Oh, yeah, especially more than I expected. Anyway, yeah, this index, changing it might have some implications. It's not just kind of, it might change the code that we would like to run. All right, let me continue with this. So let me go with the other part again. In 5 minutes, please warn me. I need to stop. And for the array list, again, what should I do if I would like to keep an integer value? But for those cases, I need to use a wrapper class. What is a wrapper class? It's the class used for those primitive data types. For int, I need to put integer. For Boolean, I need to use this Boolean class. Know that this is lowercase b, this is uppercase b. Or for double class, for char character class. So I need to define it in this way. Like in my code, if I want to keep an integer, I don't write here int. I write integer, and then I add all these numerical values. And then I can do all the other operations, but I need to say integer, not int. And for the good thing with the array list, again, it comes with many functions that you can use, like this sorting operation, for instance. So I can create a new array list. I can add all these items. Then I want to sort them based on their name, based on in ascending order. So I just need to import this collections library from Java util, and then I'll just use this sort class function and give my array list. It will sort them in the order. Or I would like to say, okay, not in ascending order. I want to make it in a descending order. So in the reverse order, then I will just put, again, the sort function cars this, and then I'll say collections dot reverse order, so that it will be in descending order.
Sorting strings, is it by the length of the string?
It's lexicographically, so based on their ASCII character values. And again, the same thing can be done with the integers, so I can add the integers, but the good thing here is that I'm just using the same function. I don't have this sort if it is an integer, sort if it's a string. But I'm always putting my array list, and it will basically sort the numbers accordingly. There's one more example, then I'll stop and I'll talk about this midterm. So we can also put the objects that we define. So it doesn't have to be only this well-known objects, but if we define let's say a book class, then I can create then book array list in which I will put all these books in it. So for that one, again, but I need to be careful about it. For each book that I would like to put in it, I will call this new book. I will call it constructor, so I will create a real instance of it in a separate instance. And then I will, when I first create it, then I can say, okay, books.add. So I will, the same thing by using the add function. I can add all these book objects that I created, and then all the others are same. I can just going from the books.size through the list. When I say books.getI, it will give me a book object. Now, not an integer, not a string. And then I can use the functions that I defined for it, because now this will be a complete book object, and if it has this get title function or whatever function it has, I will be able to use that. Of course, these are two different alternatives. Like I can either go starting from 0 to the end using this regular for loop, or I can just use this as an alternative way for each loop, and I can print their title. And all the others are same. Like I would like to change the first book by using this set function. So the only thing is that I will define the index, and I will put the new book data that I would like to put. So again, set, and then like we did, we said that set to Toyota. Here we are doing the same thing actually, but the index is 0. But now I'm putting a new object here, new book object with their constructor or whatever it is.